What's up, everybody? Brandon from Soundwell Guitar back again. Today's topic is going to be a little bit different than usual. I'm just going to be sharing a personal experience. It's a really funny story. In fact, I've got a lot of funny stories, and I've been thinking I want to share a lot of them with you guys on my channel. They may not always be guitar related, though, but I started to realize that my channel doesn't always have to be about that. It'll mostly be about that. But anyway, to kick this new direction off, I'm going to start with a really funny, but, well, it was a terrifying experience at the time. I was 8 years old. It was one of the scariest things that ever happened in my adolescence. So we'll go back to the year 1980. I was 8 years old, and I was staying at my dad's apartment in Bloomington, Minnesota. And in his apartment, he had something really unique at the time, and that was cable television. Yes, cable television. We didn't have streaming Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that. We had cable TV, and not everybody had it. And the particular channel he had was HBO. Now, HBO also was different back in those days. You didn't stream it. You didn't choose when you get to what you get to watch and when you get to watch it. Things aired at a scheduled time. Well, over the weekend, I kept seeing a trailer for a movie called The Shining. And yes, Stephen King's The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. The trailer looked so creepy. But up until this point, I'm only 8 years old. I'd never seen an R-rated horror movie or any violence for that matter. The most violent thing I'd ever seen in my life was a stormtrooper getting blown up. But the footage that I saw and the eerie music, to me, it just looked like the ultimate haunted house story, right? Which in a way it was. I wanted to see it so bad. Well, my dad agreed. Well, we can watch it. This was on a Sunday night, and this would be probably the last thing we do before he drops me back off at my mom's. And we watched it. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. Aside from it being very creepy, it's got a couple of scenes that are very disturbing and violent. At 8 years old, it's the first time I'd ever seen anything like this. But the thing that freaked me out the most was the axe. The fact that Jack Torrance had an axe as his weapon to kill his family with, the concept was mind-altering to me in a sense. I had never thought of an axe being used in such a way. Axe was used to chop down a tree, something like that, not put a hole in somebody or dismember somebody. And I'd never imagined that there'd be so much blood either in the event that somebody was maimed by an axe or a knife or whatever. But the scene that terrified me the most was the famous scene where he's swinging the axe into the bathroom door, and Wendy's on the other side, just in absolute terror, thinking death is inevitable and that death is going to come from the blade of that axe. The axe continues to burrow through the door, and at that moment, you know, the famous scene when he sticks his face in the hole and says, "Here's Johnny." The part that terrified me the most was when the axe came through the hole, and it's just kind of going through it and then back out again, and she's just paralyzed with fear. Okay, that wasn't the most terrifying thing in my adolescence. It's what followed next was. I was so traumatized by this movie, and especially now I had a fear of axes. I was afraid of axes. I come back home later that night, and my mom sees that I'm practically like cowering in the corner and asks what was going on with me. And then I confessed. When I was at Dad's, we watched this movie called The Shining, and she just goes, "Oh, I saw that. It was stupid." And I was so envious of her way of just dismissing it, because in my mind, this was just a whole new way of looking at how scary life can be. Anyway, so back to the axe and my fear of the axe. This is where it gets really funny, and this story would not be worth telling if it weren't true. This is a true story. All right, so what happened? Okay. In my house, back in South Minneapolis where we lived, I had a stepdad. And he was a handyman, and he was always tearing things up and rebuilding them. And at this point, he was, I think, renovating the upstairs bathroom. At this point, he had replaced the vanity. And the old one was now down, you know, a sink, a bathroom sink. It's down at the bottom of the basement stairs. We lived in a house that had these stairs that went down to the basement. It was a finished basement. When you get to the bottom of the stairs, to the left is the laundry room. To the right is the family room where there's the television and all that. And of course, that was my place to go usually to watch cartoons and things. But I had to, when you came down, you had to navigate your way past this vanity that was at the bottom of the stairs temporarily. But here was the problem. There was also an axe sitting upon this vanity. I don't know why it was there. But I remember there was an axe on it, and when I would go down the stairs, it would freak me out. It was terrifying. I'd stand at the top of the stairs and look down. I'm like, there's the axe. There's the axe. Got to get past the axe. I want to go watch TV. And I'd beeline down the stairs and then just get past that axe and go in the other room and watch TV. And the axe never moved, but I'd always pictured in my mind at one time it might just levitate off of that vanity and come at me. I was terrified of this thing. And I kept building up this fear of this axe. Well, anyway, as the week progressed and my fear of the axe continued to grow, I was in the upstairs bathroom. Now this house was like 1950s construction, and a very typical component of that was in your bathrooms you had what was called a laundry chute. I don't know if you're familiar with these, but it basically was a little door on the wall you would open up, and then there was a chute that went down, and you'd throw your laundry down there, and it would go straight down into the basement near the laundry machine. So it's a nice, convenient feature to have. So we had one with the nice wooden door on it, and that was where, in the bathroom, if you can imagine, I'm at the sink brushing my teeth. There's a mirror, and behind me is that door for the laundry chute. I'm there brushing my teeth, and all of a sudden I hear knocking inside the laundry chute. Bang, 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 bang. Something thrashing about behind that door. And I just stopped, and I'm so traumatized by that frickin' movie. I couldn't stop thinking about it all week. But all of a sudden now I'm like, oh my God, something's happening. Something's really happening. And I'm like, I stopped for a moment. You know, it's almost that thing like if you saw a full body apparition, you probably blink just to check if you're just seeing things. And I'm like, I must be imagining things. There's something in the laundry chute? What? And I just shaking, and I'm like, I must see what it is. It's still banging around in there. I turn around and I pull open the door. True story. It was the axe. The frickin' axe was banging inside the laundry chute. And my reaction, I'll never forget, I had never been paralyzed with fear before. And this is the only time in my life that I was paralyzed. I couldn't even breathe. I wanted to cry out. But I'm like, it is really happening. That axe has come up the chute to get me. And it's moving about. And I honestly can't tell you exactly what happened right after that at that moment. Now you're probably wondering, how could this story be true? The axe came to life? No, very rational explanation. And here's what makes this funny. My mom was downstairs wanting to do laundry, and clothes had gotten stuck in the laundry chute. She grabbed the axe and stuck it up there and was using it to unclog the laundry chute. Anyway, funny ending, but I'll never forget that experience and how terrified I was in that moment. I hope you found this story entertaining. Probably, make some more videos like this, even though they don't have anything to do with this, or maybe some of them will. But I don't know. Leave a comment or give it a thumbs up if you like this direction that I'm going. Again, I'm still going to keep doing music videos, but I just thought I've got a lot more to talk about than just my videos, and I know my students have always appreciated my personal experiences. Anyway, have a good day. See you on the next video.